I got phenomenal results with it. So not only for myself, but my clients. Up to that point, I hated to diet and I only wanted to diet for 12 weeks. Programs out there now that a lot of other coaches use, but it's the old traditional carb cycling. There's a ton of rebound weight and rebound mental issues that come with that type of diet. Hey guys, Gary Walker here and welcome back for another video. So first of all, I just want to say I appreciate you guys for watching my last 3 videos or so. I know the format has been different, but since I have been away for a while, I wanted to kind of update some of you guys, especially those that have been subscribed to me for a while. Just wanted to give you some life updates, but now I'm back at it. Now, here's what I want to talk to you about today. One of the biggest things I constantly get for people that, as far as questions and even my own clients in my one-on-one Alpha Maker Project program is the nutrition aspect, the nutrition component. Here's the thing. No matter how perfect your workout is, if your nutrition isn't on point, you're not going to get the results you deserve to get, or in some situations, you're not going to get any results at all. It depends on how your nutrition is. So obviously that's a key component. What I want to do with this video is simplify the process. So I've got a hybrid carb cycling that I use. So back in the day when I first started bodybuilding in probably, it's been 30, let's see, I'm trying to think how long ago it was. I was 29 years old. So it's been 21 years when I first started. Back then, I started implementing carb cycling and I got phenomenal results with it. So not only for myself, but my clients. Up to that point, I had already been doing a lot of different types of nutrition plans for my clients. But when it came to me, I needed something fast because I hated to diet and I only wanted to diet for 12 weeks. A lot of people that do competitions diet for 16 to 25 weeks. I didn't want to be that person. So I wanted to do what I needed to within a 12-week period to get as lean as possible so that I can be successful on stage. Long story short, I started implementing different types of carb cycling. Now, it used to be extremely complicated. There's a lot of carb cycling programs out there now that a lot of other coaches use, but it's the old traditional carb cycling where you have a low carb day, a moderate carb day, a high carb day, and those aren't very feasible for older guys, especially if you don't want to spend all day trying to figure out what to eat each and every day because it can get extremely confusing. I've simplified my approach over the years. If you guys have been following me for a while, then you know that I typically recommend 4 resistance training workouts per week, up to 5. You can do 4 or 5. It just depends on your current fitness and conditioning levels and whether you're 40 or 50 and in decent shape, or if you're 60, 70, 80, and you're just getting started. So you want to do the least amount possible to get great results. So typically that's going to be 4 days to start. Do 4 days of resistance training. So here's how the nutrition is set up for something like that. That means you have 4 days of resistance training every week, which means you have 3 days of no resistance training. Now, the 4 days that you're doing resistance training, I want you to eat balanced meals. So basically good lean protein. It can be any kind of poultry. You can do lean chicken breast. You can do turkey. You can do fish. You can do lean red meat. So even pork tenderloins. There's a lot of options, eggs and yogurt. So just make sure you're getting your lean protein. Since you're working out, you need a little bit more fuel than that. So I also want to make sure you're getting complex carbohydrates. Rice. It can be white rice or brown rice. It could be you can do potatoes. White potatoes, yellow potatoes, red potatoes, yams, whatever you want. Rice, potatoes, multigrain breads or sprouted breads, fruits, a lot of things like that are going to be really good options on those workout days because you do want those complex carbohydrates. You don't want them all the time. You want to make sure you're earning them. So on the days you're doing your resistance training, you're earning those complex carbs. So let's structure those 4 days. 4 days of resistance training. I want you to shoot for eating 3 meals. It's as simple as doing a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. Now, somewhere in between those meals, it can be between breakfast and lunch, or between lunch and dinner, or even a post-dinner snack. I want you to try to get a small snack, a protein snack. So Greek yogurt and berries. It can be a protein shake. It could be something like that. Just keep it protein-based. So that's 3 meals and a snack. every day. So on those 4 days, each meal is going to have a protein source, complex carbohydrate source that we just talked about, and some good essential fats. So olives or olive oil, egg yolks from the egg, all of those are going to be good. You can do some almonds, some cashews, so fish oil. So there's a lot of different types of good quality essential fats that your body needs. So shoot for some of those with those 3 meals. So those are balanced meals. You got a protein source, complex carbohydrate source, and you've got a good essential fat source with each meal. Now, when it comes to vegetables, those are carbohydrates as well, but those are free carbohydrates. They're not the starchy carbs that you get from the rice, potatoes, breads, quinoa, beans, and all of those things. So it's more just broccoli, asparagus, cauliflower, zucchini, all of those, as much of that as you want every day, 7 days a week. Okay, so now you have an idea what to do on those 4 workout days. Now, where it gets a little tricky is the 3 days that you're not working out. And when I say working out, I mean pushing weights. You need to be pushing weights to earn those carbs. If you're out there doing cardio, 30-minute, 45-minute cardio session or something like that, you still don't need those complex carbohydrates. So when I'm talking about the 4 workout days, I'm talking about the 4 days of the week that you're actually lifting weights and pushing some resistance. So resistance training. The other 3 days of the week, you still want the lean protein sources with each meal. And go ahead and structure the meals the same, 3 meals and 1 snack. That keeps it consistent throughout the week. All you are changing is on those 3 workout days, or those 3 days that you are not working out, you're removing the complex carbohydrates. So eat your lean protein source, eat your essential fats, eat as many veggies as you want, and just do not eat the complex carbs, the rice, potato, quinoa, beans, things like that, the breads, fruits. All of those are to be omitted on those 3 days, and you can include those on the other 4 days. So that's a simple approach to carb cycling. Here's the thing, when you keep it that simple, you're gonna be naturally eating in a calorie deficit. So those 3 days where you're eating your balanced meals, the food sources are really clean. So you're not eating a whole lot of calories. You're probably eating about maintenance calories without having to even weigh anything. You're probably gonna be about maintenance calories. And if you continue to stay hungry during those days, don't add more complex carbs, add more lean protein, add more veggies. If you add those, you're still gonna be fine. Now, the 3 days that you're not working out, you wanna make sure that you are not eating those complex carbs, and those are basically like a ketogenic meal. If you've been following me a while, you know I'm not a fan of keto. I've been training for 3 decades. I used 5 years of those trying keto with a lot of different clients, and you have immediate success, but long-term success is horrible. There's a ton of rebound weight and rebound mental issues that come with that type of diet. So that's why I'm always gonna recommend you get some complex carbs just in moderation and cycle them and earn them. So, but on those 3 days, it's a similar meal to a ketogenic meal, because ketogenic diets have protein sources and they have their fat sources. They're just omitting the complex carbs. So those 3 days, that's all you need to do. And because you're omitting the carbs, you're probably gonna be in a decent deficit those 3 days out of the week. So if you look at the 7-day window for each week, 4 days, you may be at maintenance, maybe even slightly above if you have a huge appetite and you're eating a ton of protein, which is fine, by the way. But the other 3 days, you're going to be in a deficit. Usually it's just a natural deficit. It's hard to overeat veggies, protein. So just keep that in mind. So that's the simplistic approach. Now, if you're somebody that's been dieting for a while, say you've been in my program, well, if you've been in my program, you pretty much know what you should be doing because we're in daily contact. So I'm letting you know. If you're in my program and you're struggling with the nutrition still, reach out to me, okay? There's no reason you need to be struggling with me because it's actually a pretty simple approach. Now, here's the thing. If you've been carb cycling, you're working out, you're doing all these other things, and you lost maybe 20, 25, 30 pounds, and then you hit a wall. You're just stagnant. Nothing is happening. Well, here's where I'm gonna recommend you actually count your calories, you weigh your foods, you get tedious. I know it's a pain, and it's nothing that I recommend long-term, but for your short-term, I would recommend you doing that. That way you really know exactly what your portions are when it comes to calories, when it comes to your macronutrients, your proteins, your carbohydrates, and your fats. You get a more accurate depiction of what you're eating with those 3 meals and even a snack. So get a food scale, $8 to $15, very inexpensive, easy to do. Here's the thing, it can be a pain for the first few days. Once you do it for about a week to 10 days, then it's no big deal. So I've got clients that, a lot of my clients don't do any of this, but you know, because they're doing really well within the program, losing the weight. But typically I do have some clients that are weighing their foods and just making sure that the macros are where they should be, the calories are where they should be. Then, you know, it's really simple. That's the feedback I usually get. There's a lot of valuable measurement tools that you can use out there as well. There's just the regular standard weight scale, food scale. There's also those that come pre-programmed with different foods. So you punch in a code for the food that you're weighing and it tells you all of the macros. And that one I think cost me about $25. So there's some really cool tools out there that make this really simple. Now, when your goal is to improve your health, your goal is to get that body fat off. And if you're working hard, you're sleeping good, you're doing everything else right, and you're still not getting those results, it's gonna come down to your food. If that's you, I'm gonna recommend you start paying attention to it. Every single thing you put in your mouth, write it down, weigh it out, measure it out, whatever you need to do. And I'm talking about those walk-bys, you know, where you walk by the kitchen and grab a handful of cashews or something like that. That will bite you quickly because fats, even healthy fats, are very dense in calories. An extra handful of fats every day will put you over your caloric intake levels where you need to be. So it's that easy to blow everything up. So just be very strict to get you where you want to get, you know. Once you have your goals in mind, you know you want to get healthy, you want to be at a certain point in your life, as far as if you're 220, you want to be 195 by the time you're 60, by the time you're 70, whatever your goals are, you can do it. You can do it the easy way until you stall, and then just pick up a weight scale and start doing the measurement way. And I promise you it's gonna be worth it. You're gonna feel phenomenal. It's not gonna be that difficult. So hopefully this video helps you out. I try to clarify things because at the end of the day, it doesn't need to be that complicated. It really isn't that complicated when you do it this way. So let me know though if you have any questions. Even if you don't have questions, but this made sense to you, then I would appreciate it if you leave me a comment. I love reading the comments. It allows me to know who actually watches my videos, but then also watches them all the way through. So I usually ask for a comment towards the end. So here we are 12 minutes in, 12 and a half minutes in. Apologize for the long-winded video, but I wanted to make sure I got all the information out there to you. God bless you, man. Thank you so much for watching this video, and get busy and get after it.